Hello. What in the world? Oh, I hit the wrong button. That's why.
Hello. What
That's
in the
better. Oh,
world?
and I gotta turn
Oh,
the
I hit the wrong
fucking
button.
mute it. Mute it. We don't need all that echoing. Hello, Nauseum. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. It's good to see you. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. I remember playing this one with my cousins and my mom getting really mad at me about how violent it was. How violent it was. It was fucking not even close to as violent as the movie. But yeah, no, I mean, my mom was the same way when I got Judge Dredd for Sega Genesis. I was probably like 12 or 13, right? And I don't know, was there ESRB rating on that? There was, but it's only rated teen. Well, that was close enough. I was probably younger than that too, but I can't actually remember exactly when we got Judge Dredd, but I remember my mom not being too crazy about it either. My mom was never like try to keep me from stuff, like make rules of like you can't play that or you can't watch that. I mean, she did try with The Simpsons when I was like 5 or 6, but like overall, my mom didn't try to keep me from stuff. My mom had a weird threshold about video games back then. No, and don't get me wrong, it was a thing, right? Like the world was changing even just in like its etiquette and like how how people treat each other. It's had changed a lot, like in the 90s, in the 80s, and the 90s. Just society itself in North America went through a lot of changes, and it was really weird for a lot of people. So, yeah, I mean, I get it, for sure. And, with the Genesis version, I would have been 8, I think. I've never played the Super Nintendo, which is fun. There is this is definitely one of the games that has like a lot of difference between the Super Nintendo and the Genesis version, which wasn't that big of a, for a lot of games that were both on Genesis and on Super Nintendo, there are obviously key differences, but in a lot of cases it's the same game. But with Judge Dredd, the levels, like, it's not even just the graphics and the designs that change, but some of the overall level layouts, where some of the exits are, everything's pretty different on the Super Nintendo. Almost like Aladdin, which is one that I always found weird growing up as a kid, because everybody would sit there and be like, "Oh, the Genesis version of Aladdin is better because you get a sword." And then when I finally played the Super Nintendo version of Aladdin, I was like, "This isn't the same game." Like it's not even a question of like two versions of the same game and oh, the Genesis people got a better version of the game. No, they're two completely fucking different games. Like I don't know. I found it weird. And to be perfectly honest, the Genesis version is really really short, pretty easy, especially for a Disney game. A lot of Disney games were like known to be notoriously hard, and specifically because Disney didn't want them beaten in a rental period. But for all of the Disney games, I would have to say Aladdin is the easiest, minus the bonus stage, and that is the Genesis version. But yeah, I do find that it's way like easily the easiest Genesis or Disney game for Genesis or Super Nintendo, anywhere around that era. So and as far as I saw, like seeing people play the SNES version, because I've played a little bit of it, but I've never played the whole way through. It seems like a much longer game on SNES. We watched The Lion King last week on a friend's Discord movie night, and we talked about how the Lion King for SNES game was. Yeah, how bad the Lion King SNES game was. It's not any better on fucking GameCube or GameCube Genesis. Like it's really not any better on Genesis. That is a stupid hard game. That was definitely one of the games that was the most notorious for being like stupid hard to beat in a rental period. And the funny thing was is that Disney kind of got a little smart with it at that point. What they did was they made a block, right? Where essentially no instructions were given to an entirely new mechanic in the second level. So most kids would just get stuck on the second level because it wasn't actually explained that you had to roar at the pink monkeys to get them to change the direction that they were throwing you. I know I was stuck on it for quite a while before I finally figured that out, but...
Button mashing.
Well, button mashing, fine, but you literally have to be in the right spot to press the right button, like... Yeah, it's a pain in the butt. But, great game, though. One of my friends used to speed run. Basically only works if you have it memorized. I find that that's most speed runs in general. There are definitely some games that play better to speed runs, like Marble Madness and stuff like that, where it's just like, it's a straight course, it's pretty simple, there aren't that many like roadblocks or things to throw you right off, like unexpected turns or that kind of thing. So, but most games that have like multiple paths, enemies, all this different shit where you can die constantly, I mean, yeah, if you're gonna do a speed run, you really got to memorize it. I'm not necessarily anywhere there yet, but I've been playing a lot of Oddworld, Abe's Exodus, and I plan on trying to do some speed runs of that, but alright. What's going on here? Sorry, just trying to get the Sega going. There we go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Quarters are getting tight over there. I mean, the game in general only works. Speedrunning is a whole other thing. The game ran once you learn the strats, you never play it as intended. No, exactly. And in most speedruns, you definitely never play as intended. But of course, it depends on the rule of the speedrun as well. Like the rules of the run as well, right? There are always different like types of runs that you can do. Depending on the community, like the actual speedrunning community for the game, there's going to be different sets of rules on those different runs. Again, to go back to Exodus, you're allowed to like quick load and use glitches and stuff when you're doing 100% run, but then like when you're doing an any percent, you can't quick load, I believe, or stuff like that. Like you can quick save, but you can't quick load. You have to die to bring it back up, type of deal. Oddworld is a great one. I'd imagine it'd be fun to run. Exactly, and it is like it's pretty satisfying in that sense that, you know, again, it is one of those games that you really, when you're speedrunning it, you're really not playing it as intended. So it feels really good to kind of get one up on the game all the time and to feel like you're getting the better of it. I only ever really did the Myst series, and yeah, we had a few rules, but it wasn't super breakable. Yeah, and that's another thing too, is it depends on the state of the game, right? One thing that's really great about Exodus is that it's a beautiful game, super well made, great fucking sequel as far as it's considered for like video games having a sequel released so close to each other. It's a lot bigger. They made a lot of improvements. It's still using the same graphics and character models, so, you know, saving a lot of time and money on that. But it was also rushed. It was technically pushed out the door a little quick. So thankfully, because of that, it is consistently broken. It's not just that there are a few places in the game where you can like break it. There are literally entire mechanics that are broken. So most of the glitches that you can use in Exodus do apply just about anywhere that you want to use it. So there are some fantastic ways of skipping enormous sections of the game. In Myst 4, you could remove load times. With Myst 1, we had to verify the game version because one part of Valve would turn too fast on a version of Scum VM. Yep. Yeah, no, and that I use Scum as well for a couple. What was I using Scum for the other day? God, I don't even remember now. I think it was... What the fuck was I running? God, I don't even remember now. But yeah, Scum can be a little funny, for sure. And that, yeah, I mean, that's definitely something that comes into play as well. It's like trying to do I mean, trying to do speed runs of the original Spyro, Year of the Dragon, right? The third one in the series. That one is pretty broken. Like in general, PlayStation themselves, like Naughty Dog, they had kind of a hard time getting that one out in one piece. The original version is pretty much glitched out to be uncompletable, like the version 1.0 of the game. So if you have a version 1.0 disc, your saving and that kind of stuff is pretty much guaranteed to break. You can still get through it without it, but it's pretty much guaranteed to break. You can the only ROM that was ever made for it is busted as fuck. The audio breaks, things glitch out. Most of those glitches are fixable, so you can still 100% the game. But essentially, if you want to do it properly, you have to get a version 1.1 disc, and you have to be playing it on an original PlayStation, which can be tricky in and of itself. So it's rough. Actually, come to think of it, I was going through my stuff that I got back from out west. Why isn't my fucking place? Sega, where are you? Where are you? Oh wait, that's not what I want. Why would I want to do that? What are you doing? Is it just something about having that fucking converter hooked up to it that it's just like, no, I won't. What if we just unhook this fucker for a minute? Does that fix anything? Doubtful, but... Oh, goodness gracious. Why must you be like this? Wait, how does that make any sense? Ooh. Oh, wait, actually, I think that makes perfect sense. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, well... Alright, unplug the 64. And put that back in there. Alright. Now how are we doing? I don't think that's quite what it's supposed to look like. Excuse me there, buddy. That's not exactly what I want. Looking good. Yeah, no, the blue was all I was seeing either. And again, I got a converter for the N64, just a cheap thing to be able to get back to doing Mario 64 here once we've got some of this other stuff done and out of the way, and start streaming Zelda Ocarina of Time over on Kick, because I've already streamed it on the other platforms, so I'm just doing that. But anyway, that's why I had done that, and clearly it was fucking with everything, and now this is being all dumb. Yeah, that looks a little better. It looks a little small too. There. Yeah, I love original Ocarina of Time myself too. I mean, I can definitely understand why people do randomizers and that kind of stuff, but myself personally, I just like the game. Like it's just kind of nutty how like it's almost like therapy, right? Like there's so much nostalgia there that I can just I have to admit my greatest gamer shame, I never actually beat Link to the Past. You want to know my gamer shame? I've never even played it. And I mean that, like, I believe I've, like, farted around at the very, very, very beginning of the game, but I've never actually played Link to the Past. I'm well aware that, like, it's the original Ocarina of Time, and how, like, when I was growing up, kids would always be like, yeah, they just keep remaking Ocarina of Time over and over again. I mean, again, I've never played the game, but I always knew that it's like, no, they're not remaking Ocarina of Time, they're remaking Link to the Past. Like, and because Ocarina was remaking Link to the Past, just over and over, and then they just kept fucking doing it, barely changing the game little by little. And I really, really like Breath of the Wild for a lot of what it does as, like, mechanics and that kind of stuff. I haven't actually played Breath of the Wild either, but, like, what they did, like, advancement-wise and mechanics and the actual functioning of the game is really cool. Fuck breakable items. I will not play a Legend of Zelda with fucking breakable items. Like that, fuck off. Fuck right off. Alright? When you play a Legend of Zelda game, you get cool fucking unique items and that's it. You don't fucking lose them fucking 5 seconds later. You fucking keep your fucking cool, original, creative fucking weapons. Like, I fucking hate that. Like, I hate that so fucking much. No game needs that. Ever. Ever. Repairing and unless it's gonna be, like, excessively fucking simple to keep an item that you like and that you want to keep, fuck off. Like, that is the worst fucking game mechanic ever. Ever. I hate it so much. So much. Alright, I think this is all working fine. I'm on the wrong screen on my television myself, so we'll see what it looks like on my end. But at least you guys are seeing the flashback here. Everything seems to be working. My controller don't. Hello? Hello? ROMs are kind of dead unless you know people. I need to get back to it. Mwah, I love you. Alright. And I mean, I suppose. I don't know. I don't find that ROMs are dead at all. It's mostly the fact that, like, and I could understand that, like, ROMs are stagnant. I wouldn't call them dead, but they're stagnant. And what I mean by that is that, like, you can find ROMs. You can find ROMs for every single fucking game that's ever been made. The problem is that a lot of them, like the, I mean, even then, most of those big sites are still running, right? You have a few issues with, like, some licensing in games, but overall, it's just, like, it's just a game or two while it's popular, right? Like, they remade fucking Resident Evil 3. Couldn't get a Resident Evil 3 ROM to save your life, right? And they're just starting to come back now, right? But it's always just a licensing issue, and it's whatever. Sometimes people get hit, sometimes they don't. Them getting hit is never, ever, ever going to make it go away. Period. That's the same thing with music downloading, torrents, like, everything. Period. It doesn't go away. It doesn't matter. Those pirates will always be there. Those people will always be there to keep creativity alive. And thank the Lord for those people. Because absolutely fuck the world and its money-grubbing bullshit. And I mean that. Like, I fucking hate copyright. I hate fucking lazy-ass fucking creatives that sit on their ass in one project because it's protected legally for their entire fucking lifetime. Like, no. You made the money. Either continue doing work so you keep that fucking property alive and it keeps making money, or fucking make something new. Either way, you should not be allowed to sit on your ass and just make money indefinitely, and you certainly shouldn't be allowed to stifle other people's creativity just for the sake of protecting your property. It's fucking bullshit. Controller! Why won't you work? But yeah, no. But yeah, the larger sites are still there. Again, you're going to find a lot of titles that you might have trouble finding on some of those same sites that you could find everything back in the day, but they're all there. All those same sites still exist. They're still fucking downloading ROMs and all that stuff. Again, a lot of it's missing. You know, they don't have all the ROMs they used to. Some of them have been removed because of licensing issues and that kind of stuff, but it's still there, still alive. But like I said, they made a bunch of ROMs, and people aren't making newer, better ones. And that's what I meant by stagnating earlier. And that's awesome. Like, that's actually fantastic, because I don't have a guy that makes ROMs. I don't have a guy that mods and recreates games in that way, because sometimes you need to do it that way, especially with a lot of PlayStation ROMs, which is what I deal with the most. The piracy protection and the weird discs that were made for PlayStation actually make it very difficult to make ROMs. So having a guy would be fucking awesome. But that's what I mean, is that, like, there just aren't people making new ones as often as they used to, right? And that's a problem, because that means that we're left with those subpar ROMs that didn't work as great from back in the day, and no one's making new ones. He was cool as hell. Doesn't stream much anymore. He was a Finnish dude who'd speedrun Symphony of the Night. Love Symphony of the Night. He spoke Japanese and would voice act all the lines himself. I don't know. I mean, I can... myself personally, I have a hard time with the voice acting stuff. I'm not terrible at voices, but I just don't feel overly confident doing it for the most part. So most of the time I just have to get stupid with it, because it's the only way that I'm like, don't care enough. But anyway. But yeah, I really wish there were people making new ROMs, because like I said, some of the older ROMs, specifically Year of the Dragon, Spyro Year of the Dragon, are just broken as fuck, and a newer, better running ROM would be fucking cool. But yeah, they're still out there. Holy shoot, man, they're still out there. I use cool ROMs myself. I like them a lot because of all of them. They're one of the ones with like the biggest catalog and like some of the best upkeep on what they're doing. On the ROMs that they have, always trying to get new ones. They're very strict with their licensing. They are the kind of site that, like, they still have those games cataloged in with everything else, but they'll tell you right as you get down to the download link, and they're just like, well, sorry, there's a licensing issue here. We can't actually let you download this one, right? But like I said, licensing issues are usually a question of time as well. And it's not even necessarily the time for the licensing to void. And oftentimes it's just enough time for the people who hold the rights and the licensing to just not really give a fuck, right? And it's usually after a few years of them making a good amount of money off of something, like the question of the Resident Evil 3 remake. And like I said, you couldn't even get the original ROM anymore because they were, you know, Capcom, or is it Capcom? Oh God, I hope I'm right about that. But they wanted to make money, right? So they started doing licensing attacks. They started going after anybody that was down, you know, trafficking the mod for Resident Evil 3. Even though they're completely different games. But they do hold the rights to them, right? So, I mean, they have every legal right to do so. And like I said, you're starting to see some of those ROMs come back. And at the same time, if those ROMs don't come back, then that should hopefully mean that somebody's got to get off their ass and make a newer, better running one. I had to get my Dreamcast going one of these days, too. Thinking of Resident Evil. That's not... I can't... I got... Why won't this work? Don't do this to me! Why? Why can I not use... God damn, man. Having a hard time here. Alright, just a second. I'm gonna plug in my other controller and see if I can at least get it started. See? This is why I don't use the other controller. Because it's all whacked out. Which really surprised me. This is a really high quality fabrication for a controller, but I guess I dropped it on the floor one too many times. And I apologize for taking so long to get going. Yeah, now it just doesn't want to do anything. Does nothing work? Come on, what the fuck? And yeah, apologies for getting going on Judge Dredd. I was really enjoying the conversation, Nauseam, for sure. It's nice to have someone to talk to about this stuff. Stop being a piece of shit. For some reason, hooking up that converter really fucked that over. Please work. Any day, please work. I just ditched the retro thing and went for a PS4 controller, honestly. No, and I mean, I don't mind. The issue is mapping, for the most part. Button layouts are not the same, and I'm kind of a stickler for that kind of shit. But at the same time, I mean, yeah, I'll use different controllers sometimes, like, for lots of different stuff. But especially older retro systems, nah, man, I'm not interested. Not interested. Yo, Peasy! How have you been? I've been good. How have you been? It's good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you, man. But yeah, no, I can't make this switch myself. Like, I can't have what's supposed to be laid out like this, you know, laid out like this. It's trash. Mind you, having said that, Super Nintendo, I can handle Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo itself is close enough in mapping to like an Xbox or a PS4 controller that I'll just do that, right? But no, things like the NES or the Sega Genesis or, dare I say, the Intellivision. Dear God, wouldn't it be awesome to have an Intellivision? I mean, it wouldn't. Fucking console sucks. But it'd be something to look at. But man, what a terrible fucking system. Oh, and that thing was nutty. SNES was awesome. So what's the game today? Well, if I can get my controllers working, I plan on resuming Judge Dredd. Why? Why is going left going up? Now it's not doing anything. Yeah, my Sega Genesis is being quite the pain right now. Alright, I got an account on here too. Awesome, that's so cool, Nauseam. It's good to see you on both platforms. Now, I like multi-streaming. I don't know, I started off multi-streaming, so I definitely still like to do it and enjoy it, but I've also found that it's been doing me pretty good to put it earlier than my streaming just on Kick. And there's just more Kick streamers on a little later in the day for me, so if I manage to get networking and collaborating with other streamers, then that should be easier to do if I'm streaming at that later hour. Alright, something, anything, please work. Oh my God. It's always a battle. Always a battle. I don't know what I did to this thing. It started acting funny yesterday when I hooked up the converter for the N64, which makes no sense, by the way. Like, which makes no sense whatsoever. That the converter for the N64 is in some way affecting the Sega Genesis, which they are not connected together. They are technically connected in the same line, but they are not connected together. There's a switcher that keeps them separate. Like, there's no reason that it should affect it. Unless it just has like some weird chip that programs some ridiculous sense of priority that no hardware should have. But fine. Please, controller! Just work! Why won't you work? I don't know what to do. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know what I could possibly do different to get you to work. Bite it. Yeah, that should help. Ah. Honestly, I'm just about there. As soon as you said it, my mind was like, that's an excellent idea. And no, I always have to be careful, especially when it comes to physically, you know. I do gotta lurk and make coffee. I'll keep your tab up for the view. Thank you so much, Nauseum. I appreciate that. And by all means, man, get that coffee into you. I know that feeling. You gotta have coffee. But yeah, no, I'm really, really bad. Like, not anymore, thankfully. But like, I've always been incredibly bad with my temper. So I've always got to keep a handle on all those physicalities. It would definitely be humorous to bite upon my controller, but to be perfectly honest, I'd probably bite right through it. And I know that sounds a little, you know, far-fetched and out there, but like, I have broken controllers in my hand. Like, in my hand. Like, just by getting so fucking pissed off that I just crush it. And I've got a few of the scars to prove it. Doubt they'll come up on camera, but I've had like the pieces of plastic stab into me because I just I'm not trying to brag because there's nothing to brag about. Oh yeah, no, my teeth would probably crack under the pressure as well. I might drink tonight. What time is it there? It is 2 p.m. Well, 2:11 really. Gaming rage is real. It is so friggin' real. I don't know why, but for me it's always been like a question of like, I am... And at the same time, I mean, I know that this is a ridiculous way to think, but it's just been with me so long, ever since I was a little kid. But I refuse to be defeated. Like, I refuse to be outdone by a computer. By something made by a person, by something pre-programmed. I can't. But at the same time, I mean, if you really look into game development and that kind of stuff, they have to program computers for you to be able to even beat them in the first place, right? Because if a computer was just running at max efficiency, you'd never win. You'd never, ever win. Because computers are that much better than humans, period. Like, but it's just, it drives me crazy and it makes me so angry. I'm gonna hang here for a while, then dip for a shower before I do my shit. Awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out, man. Hopefully, I don't know, maybe some Judge Dredd will play before you're off and doing your thing, but I can't seem to get this fucking controller to work, and I don't know why. It is cordless, so it's like, oh, well, maybe reconnect it. But it's like, no, it's pre-programmed to the console, and there's literally no way to, like, sync or anything like that. So it's just... If it stops working, I guess it just stops working. What do I do? I mean, if worse comes to worse, I'll just have to fire something else up. But I honestly have no idea. Like, I didn't plan. Oh, I guess we could play. Well, we can, but I don't know if the computer will like it. It's just that I'm multi-streaming, and it's hard to run Steam games while I'm multi-streaming. They'll run, but just not super great, and it hurts the stream. Alright. Now, listen here, you. No, no, okay, no. Pressing left does not go down. Go to the left! Ah! You know what? I'm gonna try something crazy. N64, Sega Genesis, Sega Dreamcast. We got enough fucking consoles lying around here, for fuck's sakes. There they are. Alright. I honestly don't see this working much better for me. What's the choices? Oh, that's a good question. We've got an awful lot. Again, running a Steam game probably isn't going to work that well. And clearly the Sega Genesis doesn't want to work. Well, that's not entirely true. Here, just a second. I'm going to try, again, this is a little crazy, but I'm going to try hooking up one of the actual, like, this is an original, this is by Sega, this is a Sega Genesis controller. We're going to give it a shot anyway. Again, these are old as hell.
Dusty.
And maybe all the buttons don't work that great anymore, so I don't even know if this is really going to work, but...
Maybe you'll fry it when you plug it in.
Yeah, it's always possible, too.
Mostly just the controller.
Good. Hey, we rocking.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right thing.
Again, I don't know how good all the buttons are going to work, but we're in it. That's all that matters, is we made it. We're here. We don't have a password, so we do have to load this save. This is a short-ass cord. Wow, this cord is short. Did we... Man. I can't believe I ever grew up playing a video game with a fucking 3-foot cord. Oh, that A button is in rough shape, dog. Oh, I can hold it. That'll work too. Alright, how are we doing? We're running. We're up and running. Don't know if it's gonna run all that smoothly, but we're up and running. Think I got him. Nope. Whoa. Oh, and we only got one life. Oh boy, this is gonna be rough. Hey, running works a lot better on this controller though. Oh no, 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 anything but you. Ah! What do we have in it? Another one? God damn. They're everywhere, man. Oh, you know what just occurred to me though? That this probably isn't gonna work either. Ah, this is a turbo controller game. You can play it without a turbo controller, but mostly it's designed to work with the turbo controller. Alright, come here. Where are you? Ah! Sticky A button. Gotcha! Alright, hang on. There's another one we gotta kill down here. Whoa! Trampoline. Ah! Smog cloud. It got me. Where are you? Gotcha. Come on now. Got him. Oh, what? Another one? I don't even have enough shots. Son of a bitch. Alright. Fire, please. Okay, what else do we have for shots in here? That'll do. How did that not get you? Well, I'm pretty much dead. Oh, yay, money. Whoopty shit. Trampoline's pretty cool. Alright, there's them. Whoa! Fuck, I hate that guy. I am one hit away from death. This is not going well. Didn't I kill you? Okay, yeah, your body just disappeared. Ah, I didn't see him. Then again, he wasn't very seeable. You know, with this controller, I can't even get into the menu and reload. God damn. We roughing it. I think I can hit the menu button on the console itself. Yeah. That's an option. That kind of does it for us. You know, I meant to make sure that I brought TikTok along with us today for the multi-stream, and I completely forgot. Oh well, it'll have to be tomorrow. I do stream tomorrow, right? Tomorrow's Saturday, not Sunday. Alright, we'll just leave the stream deck up then, and we won't worry about that. Save slots. Load, please. Sure wish this guy died easier. Whoa! Motherfucker. I wonder, how would you go about arresting someone without the turbo controller? Because to do melee attacks and to arrest someone, you need that, the turbo controller and the extra buttons on it. I'm gonna dip. Sorry, I'm gonna dip. I'll keep you tab. Thank you so much, PZ. Big appreciation. I hope you have a wonderful day. Great stream. I think I might just stop by myself. Don't think I've ever seen PZ drink before. There we go. Getting a shot off would be great. What? Excuse me, what? God! I'm not, it's just, I'm fucking, no. Frustration. Disgrace. Yeah, running works so much better on this. They didn't even give me any munitions. What the fuck am I supposed to do then? Oh, we're off to a great start. Whoa, where does that go? Eh. I'm so confused as to why the actual controller stopped working. Go see, this device complies with Part 15 of the FCC rules. I don't fucking know what the fuck that means. Let me use my controller, please. I don't understand why it stopped working. Like, it's still on. Blue light's there. Not that it's very visible, but the blue light is on. It's on. There's battery power. That's not the issue. It just like refuses to connect to the flashback, and I don't understand. I don't understand. And thankfully the old controller's working, but it's tough. And I gotta get up just to get to the fucking load every time. This is rough. This is real rough. Real rough. Real rough. Alright. Load this up again. Take this guy the fuck out. Please die. Thank you. Whoa. There he goes. What? What the fuck? I hate this. 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 I want to be able to load my fucking game. Why isn't it fucking controller working? Curse you. What the fuck? There's gotta be a way to fucking fix this, because this is bullshit. This is fucking stupid. Fuck's sakes, don't sell a fucking product if it's gonna fucking break itself like this. Fuck off. Come on. I just want this fucking thing to fucking work. If I could just figure out what the hell even happened to it. It just stopped reading. Like, it stopped taking every single fucking input. Ugh.
Hey everyone, GamePark here, and today I thought I'd do a video on this wireless Genesis Mega Drive pad from Retrobit, working on the often shunned Sega Genesis from AtGames. I know this console is not very well received by most collectors or serious gamers, but for those of you who only have this version of the Genesis and happen to come across this very high quality official wireless Genesis controller, I hope this video can be of some help on the system, and was very disappointed to see
Figure this out. Why the fuck is it like, who the fuck is connecting these fucking controllers to a fucking Nintendo Switch? Like, fuck off! Christ's sake, clearly I wanted to connect to the fucking console that it fucking came with! Fucking ridiculous that I have to fucking search specifically to connect the fucking controller to its own fucking console. No, it doesn't! No, it fucking doesn't! Ugh. Doesn't make any fucking sense. And who the fuck makes garbage fucking controllers like this? Duh, insert fucking batteries and it'll pair automatically. Fuck off! Fucking can't spend fucking 10 fucking cents to put a fucking button on there that fucking makes the thing work. fuck now? Like, come on! Jeez. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What is going on? How the fuck do I get out of here? Alright, obviously nothing wants to fucking work, so before I break everything in this fucking house, say absolutely fuck this piece of shit. Fucking damn it. I don't know why the fuck everything refuses to fucking work. No, I'm not allowed to fucking do something that I want to do. Forget the fact that I can't fucking work anywhere without being massively fucking depressed and my entire fucking life going to fucking shit. But no, you're not allowed to fucking stream. Nothing you do, and no matter how much fucking work you put into it, you're not allowed. Thanks a lot. Fuck's sakes. Well, I'd say about an hour of fucking struggling with crap refusing to work is long enough. I do apologize, guys, but why didn't the stream info change on fucking... Oh my god. Well, I guess I'm gonna end my stream there, because there's nothing I can fucking do. Nothing wants to fucking work. I can't play any fucking games. I can't play games on my computer while I'm multi-streaming, so I'm essentially just screwed up the ass, and I can't fucking do anything. I don't fucking know. No point fucking coming back if I can't get anything to fucking work, so I guess I'm just out permanently. But anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for coming to check it out, and I hope you guys have a way better day than I'm having. See you laters.